Hey guys, Kurt Haas here from Iron Haas Gear and the Iron Will Reboot. Today I want to talk about how I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. And actually, just a little bit more than 30 pounds in just a little bit less than 30 days. Um, so a little bit more background, if those of you haven't been watching or know who I am, you just stumbled across this video. We were February 1st, 2021. A year and a bit ago, I was 398 pounds and a big powerlifter, but also just a big fat powerlifter. 50 some years old. I'm 52, turning 53 now. And I'd gone to a powerlifting meet in New York, and I couldn't compete that day in the bench press because I was actually not feeling very well. And it's in the 30 years I've been competing, I'd never backed out of a powerlifting meet ever, let alone that day. But I was just terribly under the weather. And as I sat there after the weigh-in, and I weighed in at 398 pounds, 398.2 pounds or something like that, I remember not being happy about that, not being happy about the fact I wasn't feeling well. And I mean, like, I wasn't even sure if it was flu or whatever. I just was feeling terrible and not happy about not competing after driving from Canada all the way down to Lake George, New York. So as I was sitting there and watching everyone else compete and do their thing and missing out and stuff, I sat there and I got determined and pissed and whatever. And I decided right then and there it was time to shed 100 pounds. And I came up with a plan. I've been in fitness and conditioning, strength and conditioning for over 30 years. I knew what to do. I just wasn't doing it. So right then and there, I took out a pen and paper or a journal, and I started writing what I was going to do and what was going on. And I started to lose the weight, doing what I had to get done. And I got down to 310, 311 pounds, 307 pounds, I think, within, I don't know, 9 months. Went really well. Still with the goal of getting down to 275, 299, 275. But when I got down there, again, the one thing about weight loss is that the moment you take your eye off the ball, you know, it's easy to gain it way back because not so much just the fact that you eat more calories, you gain weight, but you fall back into old habits and stuff. So, doubled down again, went back up to 325, came back down 310, 311. Going into Christmas this year, I was cruising at about 311, 312 pounds, determined that this was it. It was time to break the 299. I was there. And then Christmas comes along, and in that week between, I want to say the 24th, the 23rd, 22nd of December to the 2nd of January, I just let go. I just started eating more. You know, hey, it's the holidays. You've done really well. You know, even, you know, I've got this. I got this under control. You know, I'm in a good place. And I remember sitting there going, oh, I feel heavier. And I knew I was heavier because of what I was doing. I was eating and stuff. So I got on the scale January 3rd, 2021, and I weighed 332.3 pounds. January 3rd, 21. And I wasn't shocked. I definitely wasn't happy, but I was at a point where I said, this is it. This is silly. I'm so close to my goal, and I keep letting myself go. I keep sabotaging myself. I keep taking my eye off the ball. So I said right then and there that I was going to turn around, and my goal for February 1st was going to be 299 pounds. So I went to work, and there's a couple of things that I knew that I was doing as right. Is first off, I had to get my calories right, or as the kids like to call it these days, the macros. Number two, I had the food prep and meal prep. Exercise. Now at this point, the exercise in the last year or so hasn't been the problem. I'm in my home garage, as you can see right now. We train 4 or 5 times a week. Got a stationary bike in the house. I pull it in front of the TV. I was doing it 2 or 3 times a week. So the training part hasn't been the problem. I'm actually probably the best training I've done in forever. I've fallen back in love with the powerlifting, the bodybuilding. I'm hitting the weights. I'm probably in the best shape I've ever been, holding more lean tissue than I've ever held at 52 years old than I've ever held in my life. So this problem, this wasn't the issue here. I just wanted to make sure that I was more consistent with the cardio. This overall wasn't the problem. However, consistency. I had to go from 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10. That was really it. So what I did is I turned around, figured out, I know what my calories and macros are. We determined that, where I want to be. then we want to go into a slight deficit per day so that you're losing. So, for example, if you determine that your BMR and your calories should be, for your size and age stuff, 3,000 calories, drop it down to 2,500, make 50% of that protein intake, and then most of it carbs, the balance of that mostly carbs and some good fats. Hit the 2,500, you're going to start losing weight, right? If your BMR is 2,200, drop it by, I usually say 20%, so go to 1,800. We don't want to starve, and that's the one thing here that in going after this goal is the way I work with the macros and I set up my food and the 4 meals throughout the day. I'm rarely ever hungry. I'm hungry if I skip a meal, if I miss a meal. I'm hungry if there's a problem with food prep and meal prep, right? So I get to the point where if I don't have those meals ready for the day every day, then I'm going to get hungry. Then the odds of being tempted, eating the wrong thing, greatly increases. And that's really where I would start to go off the rails, is I would lose some of the focus there, which would cause cascading effect into eating the wrong thing, eating the wrong time and stuff like that. So those were the things I knew going into this, that I had to be 100% on my calories, 10 out of 10, 100% diligent on my food prep and my meal prep. I like to keep my food prep, my food choice is very simple. The key here is always having it ready, right? Consistency. Exercise, all I did is I made sure that I was doing 32 minutes of easy cardio. So for me, it's a stationary bike every day. That was the new thing, or the thing I was doubling down on. Rather than doing it 3 or 4 times a week, made it happen every day. So basically I was hitting the weights 5 times a week and the cardio 7 times a week. Now, I focus here on steady state. So what that means on the cardio is I pick a level of cardio where I'm sweating a little bit, maybe a little out of breath near the end, but talk almost as easy as I'm talking right now, right? For me, the reason why I like the cardio is actually more for what it does for me on a recovery point of view and a mindset point of view than anything else. So I'm not doing it really to try to burn an extra 600 calories a day to help the deficit. 32 minutes on the cardio on a stationary bike, I'm probably burning an extra 150 calories, that kind, which is good. But really what it does is helps me recover better from the weight training 5 days a week, gets the blood flow going, helps me just deliver nutrients, get rid of waste product and stuff from the soreness. But what it does is part of my daily ritual in how I get my head ready for the day. So I usually get up, and within 20 minutes of getting up, I hop on the stationary bike, I pull it in front of the TV, I watch some YouTube videos. I like the YouTube videos, so typically what I do is whatever I'm watching is based on the workout I'm doing today. So I'm doing legs today, the YouTube videos I'll tend to watch, training videos on leg training, so that I'm motivated, I've got some inspiration, my mind's in it, so I'm thinking about it throughout the day. If I'm doing chest on Tuesdays or on Saturdays, those mornings, that's what I like to watch. So I get my head in it. And the other thing I like about the mindset ritual part of it is I try to do it right away first thing in the day. So what happens is I'm awake, blood is flowing, I got a little bit of adrenaline, I'm up, I'm awake. So then after that, I go take a shower and I'm ready to rock. So productivity-wise for the day greatly improves, but really it's just about establishing the right mindset. It puts me in the frame of mind that my job for 30 days is to lose the 30 pounds to get to 299. This is an important number for me only because in the last year and a half, I've been so close to breaking the 300, but I haven't yet to break it. I don't know what kind of resistance it was. What's going on? Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it both? Most likely that's what it was, right? And I think just as I got close, get a little cocky. Yeah, I got this, right? So the whole purpose of what I did in the 30 days here, from January 3rd to February 1st, which is 28 days, was to really hone in and fight to get to the 299. Now I posted a post on Facebook that exactly that's what I was doing, and I'm liking where things are going, and that I was determined this month to see if I could hit the 299. So when I hopped on the scale this morning, this is what I weighed. 301.6 pounds. So did I hit the 299? No. But I did drop 30 plus 0.7 pounds in the 30 days. Now, the one thing I'll say too is that of that 332, 7 or 8 pounds of it was just the food I'd been eating over the last 2 or 3 days between Christmas and New Year's. So that was, the first 5 to 7 pounds was just flowing, getting rid of that. But what it really was just getting back into the right amount of macros with a deficit, keeping the exercise going to keep the metabolic rate happening overall, and burn a little extra calories so that I would just keep moving down. So at the end of the day, that's how I burnt 30 pounds. That's simple. Simple because I just followed these basic steps, but the big magic was here, the 10 out of 10. So obviously this week I'm going to hit my 299, and I was talking to a couple of my training partners, like, oh, so I haven't had any cheat meals, I haven't done any of that stuff in the last month because I just was hell-bent on just finally getting to this weight and getting there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep going till I hit 295 before I have my first cheat meal. And the reason why I'm doing that is that psychologically, I never want to see a 3 in front of my weight again. I just don't. At 295, if I have a cheat meal and I gain 3 or 4 pounds from it, 299, and if it puts me over to 300, then I'll go back down. I won't do a cheat meal till I hit the 290s, so I've got that buffer. I never, ever, a non-negotiable that I've created for myself in this last month with all the work and focus I've been doing is I never want to see a 300 in front of my weight again. I just don't. And I won't let it happen because I've built some momentum, I've built some success, and I'm so damn close. So at the end of the day, we can do this if we have a plan that makes sense and we can stick to it. Now, if you weigh 200 pounds and you had 30% body fat, would you be able to lose 30 pounds in 30 days? No, right? Because I was in the 300s, I can do that 30 pounds. Because there's that much more fat, there's that much more water, there's that much whatever and stuff. Here's the key though, I wasn't hungry. Sometimes I didn't even finish my last meal because I was so consistent in eating whole foods and foods that are, that digest at a good rate. So quite honestly, I'm working with rice, I'm working with chicken, I'm working with broccoli and carrots and stuff. And I'm fine with that. Every once in a while I would sub beef in. Now before this, I would work with beef every second meal. But I found my weight loss was slower on it. So when I went into this, hey, this 30 days, I'm really going to work hard, I dropped the beef. Now, do I miss the beef? Absolutely. When's beef going to come back in? In around here, I'm going to make beef happen as to one of my meals per day because I really enjoy beef, right? It'll help bring the fat content up, which is good for hormone production and things like that. But it's one of the rewards I'm going to have for getting down to the 295 to 290 is get some beef back in so I can enjoy it, and the extra calories from the fat aren't going to throw me off. Right? And here's the thing. My overall goal is 275 pounds. And I think one of the psychological problems I had with going from 98 pounds and a goal of 275, it's pretty far. It's a big distance to travel. So you have to be super committed, super focused to sit there and say, hey, all this work starting at 398 to get down to that, that's a journey. That's a long time, and the end seems far away. And the problem with that is we can sometimes give ourselves a way out and excuse ourselves, saying, oh, listen, I got lots of time. This is a 1-year goal. So what's a cheat night tonight? What's one more cheat night? Okay, we'll go out Saturday night after we went out Friday night. We give ourselves too much rope because that goal is so far. So one of the things that I found that helped is that when I got to here, and then I got to here, I said, all right, from here to here, that's 30 pounds. With a 4-week goal, there's no room. There's no room for, what's one night? There's no room for, what's one meal? There's no room for, I'll have a chocolate bar. I love chocolate bars, right? There's just no room for it because it's a smaller goal. It's a closer goal. So there's less margin for error, less margin for us to deviate. So now, with my goal being from 301 to 295, that's even a smaller goal. So turning around and saying, hey, what's another week, 2 weeks without a cheat meal when I'm so close to hitting a milestone? It's just easier to work. You know it's only for so long, but you also know because it's only a small amount of time you're giving yourself, a couple weeks here, there is no room for error. There is no room for giving yourself a break. There is no room for giving yourself, taking the foot off the gas, right? Now, like I said, guys, I'm not starving here at all. I'm not suffering here at all. In fact, the success and the momentum that this is creating, I'm fine with going another week or two. I actually quite enjoy eating rice and chicken, right? And you know what? The one thing that I have to say about all this here, the food prep and the meal prep, it's actually made my life so much easier, so much more convenient that far outweighs any, I wish I could have a hamburger here and there. Those days are coming back. It won't be long before I'm back to having that. And they'll be a lot more enjoyable because it'll be that cheat night that we do every 2 weeks when we go out to a restaurant, right? I'll enjoy it because I don't do it very often. So it'll be that much more special, right? You don't get to 398 pounds without having a shit ton of cheat meals and giving yourself all the rewards in the world, having not deserved and earned them. So I've had more than my share of cheat meals and shit food and stuff. It's time to bring it down to that, and then earn them again and get to that 275 where I deserve to have that cheat night once in a while. Every 2 weeks, go out and enjoy, have a good time. But you know what's really cool? Feel really good. Happy with how I look. Pleased with how I feel. Happy the way my clothes fit, how I feel, how I walk. That feels a ton better than any cheeseburger is ever going to fucking taste, right? So guys, that's how I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. Didn't quite hit my 299, but I was damn close. Really happy with the success. And again, that's how we work it. And when I work with my clients, this is the same situation we work with. We keep it simple, it's structured, it works really, really well, right? It's all about, though, getting your head behind it, being committed to it, and understanding that the reward is worth it at the end. So there you go, guys. 30 plus pounds, 30 days. That's how I do it. I did it. If you have any questions or you have any help or whatever, hey, reach out. That's what I like to do. I want to help people do it. And my next goal, the 290, 295, 290, and then on to, or down to 275, right? And that's now much closer than ever because I broke it down. I got determined. Once I hit this threshold, that's the next step. That's it, guys. I'll talk to you later.